Are you ready for some smart, plain talk on politics, Israel, and the law? It's the Andrew Parker Show. Let's roll. Welcome to another episode of the Andrew Parker Show. And today on this episode, we're going to discuss politics. Politics in the state of Minnesota. Yes, indeed. 1 week from tomorrow, from the day we're recording this episode, there is an election in the city of Minneapolis, the largest city, the city that some say really drives the state of Minnesota from an economic perspective and many other perspectives as well. It is one of the most liberal electorates anywhere in the country. And they're going to the polls to elect a mayor, all 13 council members, as well as the park board. And is it going to be something that we want to give a standing ovation to? I don't think so. We'll see what happens on Monday. It might be the better of two evils. I dare say that liberal policy in the city of Minneapolis has not resulted in good outcomes. And we're joined by someone today, repeat coming back guest to the Andrew Parker Show, and I'm very proud to have him. Tom Rosen of Rosen Diversified, let's just say one of the important companies who provides food to this country, and nothing more important than what Rosen Diversified does. Tom's father and uncle started the company. Tom has greatly expanded it, a great businessman here in the state of Minnesota, and we're going to ask him today about how Tim Walz is doing and his report card. But first, welcome to the show, Thomas.
Well, Andy, it's always good to see you, buddy.
Thank you so much. I find this time in politics to be a bit humorous. The Democratic Party does not know its way. Unfortunately, we no longer have a liberal party in the United States. It has become much more of a leftist party. They use the term progressive, of course. And if progressive means throwing our Judeo-Christian values out the window and implementing policies that time and time again have failed, certainly in terms of economic policies, then I guess that is what it means to be a progressive. But what do we do with a Democratic Party that has lost its way? I am a firm believer in we need a strong liberal party in this country. We need a strong conservative party in this country. We need ideas to be bandied about and argued in the public square, in the marketplace of ideas, in order for that crucible to leave when we are said and gone, done and gone, to leave in it the essence, the fundamental mineral of good policy. And we just haven't been doing that. We've been getting bad policy from our liberal friends. One of them is Tim Walz, governor of the state of Minnesota. Thomas, how do you think Tim Walz is doing now that we've given him 8 years of leadership nearly, as we're coming up to an election in 2026, and he's running for a third term? How do you think he's done in his first 2 terms?
Well, things were in really good shape when he took over. We had big surpluses and everything like that, and all of them are gone. I don't know. Some of it, there's a big fraud scandal going on. Some of that extra money, I think, is involved in that deal. You know.
Yeah, I mean, the fraud is second to none in the experience of the state of Minnesota. I've talked about this on the show before, and those of our age, Tom, certainly remember the cover of Time magazine with Wendy Anderson holding a huge muskie here, caught in the, might have been a walleye caught here in the
I think
great
it was
state.
a northern pike.
Yeah, it might have been. It was a big fish, and the good life, that was the fundamental, the foundation of the story. And right here in Minnesota, you could come and find the good life. And nowadays, what do we have? We have crime. Yeah, 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 yeah. Those were the good days. Now, what do we have? We've got crime rates that are through the roof, violent crime rates worse than ever, particularly here in the city of Minneapolis. Just to give you a few statistics here, just in 2023, the crime index was more than 2.5 times greater than the U.S. average here in the Twin Cities. And the national average had what's called a index, a crime index. The national average was 240 crime index. Minneapolis has a crime index of 645. There were only 1.1% of all U.S. cities that were worse than Minneapolis. 1%. That's how bad the crime rate has gotten in the city of Minneapolis with these socialists who want to be returned to office, who are governing here in the city. And violent crime is worse yet. I mean, you live here in the city, Tom. Do you ever hear any sirens going off? I mean,
well, it's funny you ask. 10 days ago, somebody broke into my garage when I was sleeping there.
Really
got into a car, my girlfriend's car, stole all the clothes out of there, stole a bunch of credit cards, and this was on a Sunday morning or something like that. And kind of the sad part of it all, you can't report a theft like that.
Yeah, well, nothing's going to be done.
No, they don't. Unless it's a murder, attempted murder, they really don't want to hear about it. So,
yeah. And if your house is vandalized, you got property damage, they don't even show up.
They don't care.
No. And, they may, I think the police department probably does care, but they are so woefully understaffed because of the defund the police movement that what are you going to do? Of course, you defund the police, you're going to have more crime, and in particular, more violent crime. So crime is up. The argument that it isn't ignores violent crime. Property damage crime or property crime is up as well. And, while trends go up and down, since Tim Walz has been governor, since the Democratic Socialists of America have taken over the city council in terms of their votes and how they vote, crime has gone through the roof. What about? And now, a word from our sponsors. A record of success second to none. Parker Daniels Keyboard Law Firm, the numbers tell the story. The last 5 cases our lawyers have brought to trial have resulted in million and multi-million-dollar verdicts for our plaintiff clients and 0 defense verdicts for our defense clients. Put simply, we try cases and we win cases. Hi, I'm Andrew Parker. At Parker Daniels Keyboard, we take our work personally and we go the extra mile. That is why some of the biggest law firms, locally and nationally, send cases to us to handle when they can't. If you have a challenging and critically important business or personal legal dispute that must be favorably resolved, whether regarding a contract matter, a business divorce, a real estate dispute, an employment dispute, a civil rights or defamation matter, plain talk, if it's a big deal, contact us at Parker Daniels Keyboard. Wise counsel, winning results. Go to parkerdk.com. Looking to reduce your tax liability and grow your portfolio? Consider Texas-based Texacoma Resources. They have been delivering results for over 40 years in energy investments. Investors may benefit with strategic advantages like depreciation, depletion, and drilling, but should consult their tax advisors for their specific situation. Call True North Investment at 612-968-3442 to learn more. That's True North Investment, 612-968-3442. Texacoma Energy that works for you. Through the roof. What about the next issue? We've still got a few minutes here, Tom. I want your judgment on what about education in Minnesota? You know, keep them all stupid because they'll march in the streets waving Hamas flags. I mean, that's the result of keeping them all stupid. And our education system, which used to be the beacon for the entire nation, is now, you know, I remember back to the Palenti years and even before.
Oh, yeah.
The education system here in Minnesota mattered. Nowadays, and since Tim Walz has taken over as governor in 2019, the math scores and the reading scores for Minnesota have fallen precipitously, despite the fact that the amount of money per pupil that has been thrown into our education system has greatly expanded and increased. What do we do on education?
Well, I'll tell you this, that there's been a lot of private schools started, and they are totally full.
Charter schools.
Yep.
Yeah.
Private, charter, everything. Yeah. They're totally, people are exiting the education system as it is.
Yeah, and there's no doubt if they have choice, they are going to move with that choice. Mm-hmm. But the bottom line is math and reading scores since 2019 have dropped in Minnesota like never before. And more than that, at least as it relates to reading scores, they have dropped below the national average. I mean, Minnesota is now down around Mississippi and Louisiana in terms of our education system. It's crazy and nothing short of crazy. Lastly, the average individual economic loss, that is an individual's average income, their economic gain or loss by state in terms of loss, puts Minnesota near the very bottom, in the lowest 10 of the entire United States. In fact, what is it? Eighth from the bottom. Eighth from the bottom. It's not good, folks. It's not good. But you saw the clown jumping around on stage, running for vice president, and he's now running again. I had the great opportunity, Tom, to probably 7 or 8 times out in D.C. sit with Tim Walz when he was a congressman, and we talked about the Middle East. And it wasn't really a discussion. We'd open up the topic, and he would then talk for about 30 minutes and just continuously just hot air. I mean, you had to get out of the room. It was crazy. He was generally pretty good for Israel. But toward the end, when things got difficult in the Democratic Party, he bailed. He bailed on the Jewish state. He bailed on Judeo-Christian values. Well, what do they call him on Fox News? Tampon. Tampon Tim. Tampon Tim, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, he's running for governor again. And God willing, folks will go to the polls. They'll remember him jumping around on stage. And they'll go, we don't want that for another 4 years. Let's bring back in sound, middle, right down the middle, a little bit conservative fiscal policy for Minnesota, and bring back the Time magazine cover.
Right.
We can do it. Let's bring it back. We're going to have to make changes. And starting at governor is a good way to do it. Tom, thanks so much for being here today.
One thing.
Yeah.
This for the first, the last few years in Minnesota, we have been losing population. That has.
Yes. Of course. Crime rate is up. Education is down. Economic loss is through the roof. Who's going to stay?
It's a terrible time for business.
Yeah.
It's the most anti-business attitude ever in this state.
People are not only going to South Dakota, they're now going to North Dakota. I mean, who would ever have thought you'd leave Minnesota to go to North Dakota?
Right.
I love North Dakota, but, that's what people are doing. Tom Rosen, our special guest today on the Andrew Parker Show. Go to theandrewparkershow.com. Subscribe, follow us, do the other things you do on those social media platforms. And, you'll never miss an episode. Text us at 952-522-2818. And until next time, be kind to your neighbor. For more Smart Plain Talk, go to theandrewparkershow.com. Learn about all of your listening and viewing options. And remember, all the great things are simple, and many can be expressed in a single word: freedom, justice, honor, duty, mercy, hope. This episode of The Andrew Parker Show is sponsored by Parker Daniels Keyboard and True North Private Investments.
Did your employer make you sign a promissory note when joining the company, and now you want to leave, but you're afraid your firm will pursue you personally for that debt? This is Jesse Keyboard from the law firm Parker Daniels Keyboard. I recently represented a client who had signed such a note, and I was able to get them out of their $500,000 debt to their company, which allowed them the freedom to exit a bad employment situation and enter a much better one. Meeting our clients' objectives is our focus at Parker Daniels Keyboard, and in this regard, we win. Our experienced trial team of lawyers at Parker Daniels Keyboard have secured major victories in state and federal courts across the country and through arbitration. We have the legal expertise in all types of business disputes, labor and employment matters, real estate matters, shareholder disputes, financial transactions, security issues, and appeals. For wise counsel, winning results, contact us at Parker Daniels Keyboard, a premier litigation law firm that provides efficient, aggressive, and innovative solutions to complex legal problems. Wise counsel, winning results. Go to parkerdk.com.
Looking to reduce your tax liability and grow your portfolio? Consider Texas-based Texacoma Resources. They have been delivering results for over 40 years in energy investments. Investors may benefit with strategic advantages like depreciation, depletion, and drilling, but should consult their tax advisors for their specific situation. Call True North Investment at 612-968-3442 to learn more. That's True North Investment, 612-968-3442. Texacoma Energy that works for you.